Character death is something that many players dread when it comes to our TTRPG campaigns, and in today's video we're going to discuss the death of player characters and how we can better manage it at our gaming tables. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month and we are rapidly running out of time, so please help me. Thanks guys. I've had plenty of people tell me over the last 5-10 years that they've had a lot of difficulty handling character death. And whilst this analysis might not be good for those of you who've been in the same game for 30 years and you're all playing at level 40 and whatever, it's going to be useful information for most people. I think it's what a lot of people need to hear, right? Depending on what system you play, character death can range from being rare to likely. D&D 5e, as an example, is made for, well, superheroes, in my opinion, that rarely meet their maker, whereas Dungeon Crawl Classic, which I've been playing quite a bit more recently, has more frequent death, especially in the funnel, right? If any of you guys have done a funnel before. Either way, death can still occur, and it's in my view that character death is an essential part of the experience of playing TTRPGs, and it's important to be able to embrace that. It's both a player and a dungeon master as well. I've been in games with people who throw tantrums when their characters die. Some people just don't understand that death makes this game feel a lot more real and offers genuine consequences to their actions. I do understand the emotional impact of losing a character that you really enjoy playing, but death should never be the end of your adventures. It should just be the beginning of a new one. It's being able to balance character attachment with the acceptance that death is a part of the game that I feel like needs to really be worked on more, I guess. Each death should be a learning experience for the player, not an opportunity to complain or leave. One thing that we can all learn from the old school mentality is that danger and unpredictability are core elements of the game. The choices of the characters are far more important than just rolling dice, and I think this is what players should be focusing more on, and planning carefully, using clever tactics to overcome the odds. One of the big reasons why character death occurs more in systems like D&D 5e is because of the design philosophy that's rooted around encounter balance. Encounters are supposed to be appropriate for certain levels, but I find that the challenge rating system doesn't take into account things like, magical items, high stats, a party of mostly magical characters, or really anything else for that matter. If for whatever reason your players lose a fight, it is popular belief based on the rules of 5e that the Dungeon Master is to blame because they didn't balance the encounter right. I shit you not, I have actually had players blame me for them losing because of CR. And you know what's funny? It was hard. It was hard level CR. It wasn't even deadly, and they lost. Make it make sense, right? Despite that, these systems are better suited to players who don't really want the risk of death. But I just don't really believe that this makes a game actually fun or rewarding if you're constantly being told that you're going to be okay or you're not going to die, right? I've heard people say that character death ends campaigns, and whilst that definitely can occur with a total party kill where everybody dies, I think individual casualties can often be used to drive the story forward and create new plot hooks, as well as motivate the surviving characters. New villains can be created from the ashes of battle, and you can use them to make the story more interesting. Quite frankly, from my experience, a TPK should inspire the players to create new characters to face off against the villains in the future. But I think some players just want to give up, throw in the towel. And I really now want to, discuss the ways to actually handle character death and get your players more comfortable with it so you have less issues at your table. The first thing is to set expectations. I know that sounds easy enough, quite frankly, but players need to know that, this, especially during character creation, when they're first joining the campaign, that their characters can actually die. So whilst it is okay to get attached and really enjoy your characters, don't expect them to get all the way to the end of the campaign. And if they do, that's amazing, but just, don't expect it, right? It's also really important for you to be fair in your rulings if you're going to be a dungeon master. While games can be brutal, death should feel earned through the game's logic rather than arbitrary decisions. Consider offering your players creative solutions to get out of deadly situations, and remember to telegraph danger. If the pit fiend in the room ahead is far too powerful for the party to defeat, make that known in game. Let the cleric or a wizard know that pit fiends are really powerful and a couple of characters could die. This allows dungeon masters to cover themselves and avoid blame. After all, we are the adjudicators and referees of these games. We're not necessarily out to kill the players. Let your players know that if their character dies, they can come up with a new character concept and bring fresh new ideas to the table. A lot of players seem to forget how much they actually enjoy making new characters. If you make that experience exciting for them, then it will probably reduce the anxiety around character death. I also recommend running one-shots whenever people are missing. Especially with lower level characters, as I think lower level games are usually more deadly, and have characters die in that. Have death be more on the table in these one shots, so your players get more used to it. I'm a really firm believer that players get smarter when their characters die, so make sure there are situations where they can definitely die on occasion. Another thing I've learned is to be positive about death. It's not a good idea to blame players or yourself, especially if the death wasn't based on an arbitrary ruling. Don't let your players sulk or vent to you, because that just causes resentment and frustration. Instead, tell them that their character died a hero, and give them a new character sheet and tell them that death is just the start of something new. Celebrating the passing of dead characters and allowing your players to contribute to that legacy is a really cool idea. I had 3 characters die trying to take over a city from orcs, and after they did it, they erected a statue in the memory of the dead characters, and I just thought that was really, really nice. What advice do you guys have for players or dungeon masters who struggle with handling character death? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, feel free to join my Discord if you'd like to join my community and our monthly events, and consider subscribing to my Patreon, either as a free or paid member to gain access to charts, tables, and systems to bring your campaigns to the next level. I'll see you guys next time on Loki's Lair. Till then.